would be fine. Today in this video, we would be talking about the diasporic literature, and I have some particular questions from my friend Abdul Razak from Morocco. Therefore, this is more designed to answer those questions. And Abdul Razak, I'm sorry that due to heavy rains and my some busy schedules, I could not reply you soon as I had promised you that yesterday I would be talking on it, but due to some busy schedules, I could not address it at the time. I'm sorry for that. Hope you would be fine. Actually, some heavy rains are happening over here in Pakistan, therefore, uh, some schedules are disturbed. The other rest is very fine. So, the very first question, what is meant exactly by the diaspora literature? This is the first question. Then is the Afro American literature can be included in the diasporic literature, and then is that mm, uh, Caribbean literature, can it be, and some novels about that as well. So, this is our outline of our talk. So, first we define the word diaspora. The word diaspora means the meaning of this diaspora is the dispersion. Means when someone is exiled in the situation of exile, out of homeliness, this situation. Uh, when the first diaspora occurs, means people says that when someone is compulsorily expelled from some geographical territory, uh, uh, it's the diaspora. But we have different types of this diaspora. Therefore, I am not sticking myself to this definition. Means it is not the compulsory diaspora, as only the compulsory diaspora does not happen. Compulsory displacement does not happen. There are also other types of displacement which happens, and they might be included, and they are definitely included in that sense of the diaspora. Uh, the first diaspora occurred when the man was expelled from the happy fields of heaven. Means expulsion started with the man. Usually, as I am very specialized in diaspora, my thesis of mass MPhil in English, means we call that as 18 years education. Uh, that is equal to masters. So, in that, my topic was on the diaspora, and right now I am also working on the cultural trauma. So, it's also more related to the one another. So, the history of diaspora is as old as is the history of the man. Means as the with Adam, the very first diaspora has occurred as he was expelled from the happy fields of the heaven. So, diaspora is a constant and ongoing process. It always keeps on happening from man to man, from country to country, situation to situations, person to persons. Now we come to that, the types of diaspora. One that is called the compulsory, means one is the major types are the one is the voluntarily diaspora, and other is the involuntarily diaspora. Involuntarily diaspora is that which is basically by the compulsion. For example, war may be the reason of that dispersion. Means people somewhere on a locality may be dispersed due to the reason of the war. Then disease, some outbreak of disease on a massive scale might be the cause of dispersion of the people from that locality. Then some starvation, some flooding, some sort of diseases, and now the other type is that of seasonal diaspora as well. Means there are some places which are very uh, uh, cool in winter and very hot in that uh, 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 summer season. I'm not sure about that. about the Western world, but here in Pakistan we have some situations. On our top mountainy area, in the winter season, it happens too much heavy snowfall, and the people from there they migrate from those mountainous area to the plain fields over here. And when the atmosphere recovers again, then the people they move on to their homelands. Interestingly, is the phenomena of diaspora is only confined to the men? No, it is also the birds as well. Means here in Pakistan, the people, the birds from the Caribbean Ocean and the Caribbean countries move over here in Pakistan, and when the atmosphere is normal and suitable, then those birds return to even in search of their food. Birds always keeps moving from one situation to another situation, and the birds have known their long established homelands and homes and the nests. Therefore, diaspora is also consistent with the birds as well. So this word, the whole word is diasporic. And now, to our question, that what is the diasporic literature? Any particular or specialized literature which discussed or majorly focused on the theme of displacement and the issues related to that such displacement. For example, identity, search of the business, cultural assimilation, linguistics problems. If this literature or some novel or poem is related to these issues, issues of displacement, dispersion, language, and consequently what the problems one feels uh, as a result of such dispersion. That would be the diasporic literature. Uh, for example, if you have heard uh, Hamlet, you have read, you might ask me a question that though dispersion has not been there, and there was not such a situation of the displacement and the dispersion or the diaspora in the Hamlet. But if you closely focus on the character of Hamlet, when his uncles plans to displace him from his homeland, and he sent him to away to another country, Oxford University, to keep his studies. He basically consistently conspired to send Hamlet away from the home. So sending someone away from the home, and then later on he was caught by the pirates, and they smuggled again him to his own homeland. So even in Hamlet there is the diaspora. And the other situation, when the woman is married some other culture, in some other culture, or away from her home, she is also in the situation of that diaspora. If there is any short story that is dealing with the issues of that particularly married woman after the marriage, some sort of her adjustment in that new culture, her problems with the new culture, that would be the diasporic literature. So, if we talk about that Caribbean and the Afro American literature, that whether that is diasporic or not. So, yes, Caribbean literature, from the Caribbean literature, we have actually where there have been the colonies, there is the diaspora. Means they have been, there were two types. One, that those who were the freedom fighters, to such people, colonial masters have been trying to keep separate, to make compulsory, means they make their lives very tough for them to live in that country. Therefore, such people migrated from their homelands as well. And then there were the people. Then after colonial period, there were the people who attracted by that sight of the uh, attraction of the colonial states, and they migrated those states. For example, from your country, from Morocco, from Africa, from India, from Pakistan, there are a lot of the people who are just in the craze that they want to live in Western world, while they never have thought of their own homes. And interestingly, when they reach over there in the Western world, they always think of their home. But in spite of thinking about their home, they face the problems in the Western world as well. The Western world is not safe of those problems, but they bear the problems on the name of that Western world is the charming one, it is the civilized one, and this and that and all that. Uh, so if we talk about Mohsen Hamid's novel, The Reluctant Fundamentalist, actually the third question, which was about uh, that some novels related to the diaspora literature. If we talk about Pakistani fiction, then The Reluctant Fundamentalist by Mohsen Hamid is the best example of that diasporic novel. As the Changiz in that novel, Changiz is the central character in that novel. He was living in America. He was educated in America. Though he was born in Lahore, Pakistan, but he was living. Lahore is a city in Pakistan, but he was brought up in America. He was doing job in America. He was at the time of 9/11. He was residing over there. uh, and even in though he was residing in America, but he had to face a lot of problems like identity crisis, linguistics problems. And when the incident of 9/11 happened, actually compulsorily he was bound to leave America, and he returns back to Pakistan. And I have, as this is a very long list of the novelist which deals with the diasporic literature. Here are some novels: The Old Drift by Namwali Serpel, The White Teeth by Zadie Smith, and The Native Son. This is basically particularly about Afro-American diasporic novel. Native Son by Richard Wright, and Invisible Man by Rolf Ellison, and some more I have made as well. And then New Daughters of Africa, and an international anthology of writing by women of Africa. This is basically particularly Anglo American diasporic literature, which deals about the experiences of the black Africans when they moved to America, what the problems they had faced over there as well. Now we would be talking particularly about the Caribbean's literature. Caribbean means the literature written from the West Indians, and out of that wide Sargasso Sea by James Royce is the best example of that Caribbean literature related to the theme of diaspora. So to make it clear, just I have a very tricky question. That is, the diaspora only happens with the people of the third world, or it happens to everyone? It happens to both ways, but the ratio of that diaspora is more common to the people of the third world woman. As you know, that power establishes one's roots, power strengthens one's culture. uh, as you know, we don't have some good academic educational institutions. We don't have some good political system. Therefore, as our lives are very uncertain in our countries only because of an undeveloped political system. Our states are weak, our economy is weak. Therefore, lives in our countries become uncertain and the chaotic. Therefore, any wise man who prophesies the future, he considers that my future is not so good in my country. Therefore, he tries to move toward the Western world. If I talk about the Pakistan and India, are the people some related to Iran, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia. All the intellectual peoples have migrated to the West only because they were not considering that their life is secure in their own countries. But the diaspora also happens to that colonial period as well. Those who have been making the colonies, as our novel doctor, sorry, that E.M. Foster's novel, A Passage to India, deals with the dispersion, means diaspora, displacement of the English people in the Indian context as well. Means those English people, once they were the colonial masters in India, they have been facing a lot of the racial problem, means from the side of the Muslims, from the side of the Hindus, and they were considered as the white foolish people, white fool peoples. And even there is a, if you are more interested about this sense of white people's sense of displacement and regression, there is a short story written by George Orwell. The name of that short story is Shooting an Elephant. So, the crux of that story is that he was a white man over there in India, in Burma, and once an elephant go mad, uh, once when that sorry, elephant gone mad, so everyone was expecting that he should fire the elephant. So he takes off his gun, he runs from the market, and everyone, people from the India, was running behind him, and they were just shouting and making like, "Oh, be brave, be brave, be brave." English are supposed to be brave. So when he reached over there on the outside of the city, he see that the elephant was calm and his that fist of madness has gone off. He goes over there, but he kills and shoots on that elephant, as there was a public pressure. They was just making, otherwise they would be laughing on him. So by the end of that short story, he says that I just killed that elephant because the people were expecting me to kill that elephant. Uh, Otherwise, there was no reason for that. So diaspora also happens on the both ways, but among the people of the countries of the third world, it's not so significant. Sorry, it is so significant. And while those who are the very long and established one, uh, as you know, the Western people never move out of their countries right now, though they move for the traveling and the tourism, but they never uh, move out of their countries for the purpose of the safety and spending life as well. I think there are a lot of questions has been cleared, but still you have any question, query, you may ask me. That's my interesting field. I would be happy to answer your questions. With this, goodbye.